Hello, darling. Okay, that's a little bit better. Hello, my darlings. Hello, hello. Get this started. Hello, Miss Tyler. How do you do, my dear? Confirm and go live. There we go. Hello, 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 hello. How are you doing, Sonia? It has been a good hot minute right there. Okay. Hello, darlings. So we're going to do a get ready kind of thing. We're going to have a little tea. We're going to do a little this, that, and the third. And while the water is still hot, I am going to try and get some fangs made because my old pair are just not quite doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, darling. Oh, goodness. Right. It seems that they love to keep me right around that 20K. Hello, soybean, my dear. How are we? So I've opened up. I'm streaming live here on Twitch as well as over here on TikTok. If somebody can head over to my Twitch and just let me know if the sound is coming through correctly. Hello, darling. Got a nice little bit of gloss on to help hydrate the lips. And there we go. Hello, hello. Let's see if we can get together. Am I going to need, do I have a... Let me grab a porcupine quill. I know it seems odd, but yes. So yes, I'm getting ready for tonight. I'm going to be in some verified place. So if you're a very loyal fan and you know to go and search my throne room, you should be able to find me. There we go. Hello, hello. Okay, so we're doing a very quick... That is not nearly all of that. Cannot be. Hello, darlings. Hello, hello. Come on in. Hi, demon. Hello, my dear. Pardon as I get. Like, I know I put 13 grains in there, so... there we go. That should be more sizable. Hello, darling. Welcome. I love the sound. Doing pretty good today. Feeling she, her. Definitely feeling she, her. Went to another Black Munch last night. It was interesting. Met some new people. The vibe was a little bit different. But saw some people that I met last time. It was quite an interesting gathering. Can you hear me okay? Oh, good, yes. Thank you so much, darling. 1, 2, 3, 7, 10, 11, 12, 13. Hello, hello. So yes, we are getting into inner bathery. We are doing what we do ever so well. If anybody has questions, do feel free to come on in. So, I'm very proud of some of the palm-colored people who showed up and did the walks. I believe there's supposed to be another march going on the 19th or the 20th of this month. So please do. Right, that part. Yes, if you want to be a little bit more gauche, a bit more naughty. She, her, thank you so much for asking, definitely. Yes, if you want to be a little bit bolder, you can do so over on Twitch. They're a little bit looser with the whatnot. They understand the audience, as it were. Yes, I am over there. I am using them a little bit more. I finally got a few things figured out. Sometimes it takes me a hot minute to get all of my particularities put together. Pardon as I get together the... Come on, nope. Trying to get my... there we go. Trying to get my thermoplastics together because I need to make a new set of small things. But yes. Oh, we love a good Malusi. Honestly, it's been really hard to find other good melon lately. Luckily, we're finally coming into spring, so I'm hoping for some good, sweet, juicy melons. But yes, you can find me around the interwebs. I am present in many a place. I will be live tonight in verified places and sites. So, trying to make sure that... There we go. Shorten up this thing just a touch. I'm probably going to work on a couple of sets of fangs. Okay, we're going to let that dry for a second. Right. They have good melons, but H-Mart is my place to go for fresh fruit. I absolutely adore the produce there. It's very, very good. So, okay, we're going to let those firm up for a second. While I transfer this over here. How's everybody doing? Right. So I just am trying the champong, C-H-M-P-O-N-G. The, what is it? I think it's a seafood flavor. Ooh, that hits. Okay, so we did some bok choy. We did some slow cook pork that I had going in my slow cooker. I'm gonna keep cooking it for a while, and then the champong. I know I'm pronouncing that so wrong. Champong ramyun, and it's a little bit spicy, but not like, oh my god, spicy. It's like, ooh, it's got a little to it, along with like a seafood flavor. So very, very squid, very crab, but like in a very pleasant way, honestly. Oh, okay, that's tasty. That eats, as they would say. Made some Nutella puff pastry. Oh, made some Nutella puff pastry today. Can't wait to have them with... That sounds fantastic. That sounds so good. I had some tea from JJ Bakery today, and it was very strong. It needed boba or something to go with it, but honestly, I wasn't mad. I think I'm moving slowly away from coffee because we're coming up on springtime, and my flavor palette changes during springtime, so that I become a bit more, I like the tea a little bit more. What can I say? Either one is fine. Either one is fine. Fair. Let me actually move this down just a touch. A little tea, a little honey. I'm having the milk coffee from Sangria, which is like very, very lightweight. So it honestly almost tastes like a milk tea version. But yeah. Oh, good. Thank you, darling. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Hello, my dears. Aw. Thank you. So, we got a lot going on. I've figured out a few things. I'm getting those up and running. I really need to make rent within this, hopefully next week or so. So, all of my commissions are open. More and more things are going to get listed. I am definitely going to make all of the things that I can available in as many ways as I can, as well as custom content, custom commissions, picture packs, and the whatnot. I'm refining a lot of things. Hello, darling. Yeah, I'm getting some of my verified sites updated, trying to put forward a more cohesive look, a more cohesive type of content. So, over here on Sanguine Threads, you are going to see like daily life, crafting, that kind of thing, probably some of my hot takes and whatnot. Over on In a Battery is going to be more nail content, more ASMR content, more like vocal kind of stuff, more me as In a Battery, the vampire. So if you are above the age of 18, in fact, I'd prefer above the age of 21. If you are above that age and you would like to see In a Battery in much more her natural state, which is very dominant femme, I would definitely say go over there. So yes. Hi, Kimmy. How you doing, darling? So yes. Gonna do fried chicken, yams, ooh, mac and cheese, fried cabbage, and honey cornbread. That sounds fantastic. But yes, I've also got new stuff coming out on the tube. I'm posting up the lives and whatnot, as well as some of my shorts. I'm doing a little bit of the same over on Red Note. The nail content seems to be what's drawing attention on there, so I'm probably going to do more nail content for Red Note. And then as far as it goes on the verified sites, we're definitely stepping it up a few notches. So if that is your thing, search it out. If it is not, avoid. I'm trying to give people places to go, things to see, me as a small business to support, all that kind of good stuff. Mm. Mm, mm, mm. Oh my god, that's so good. I added just a sprinkle of cheese in there to thicken up the sauce just a little. And honestly, it's pairing well, better than I thought it would with the seafood flavoring. Okay, we've got a flash goal. Ooh, 17 puffed hearts from 17 people. So if you would like to support, one puffy heart each would be absolutely fantastic to get me to my flash goal. Yes, I gotta play the game, because we're doing the thing. We're growing the audience. Sorry, as I turn on another light, I just realized how daggum dark it was. There we go. There we go. Hello. Oh no, be ever so careful. That's the ear, nose, and throat all connected, and that is just a shit fest. Sleeping slightly upright, like 45-degree upright, is going to really help. It takes a lot of the pressure off of the chest and helps make sure that everything drains down, but also takes a lot of the heaviness off the chest. Right. And warm. Warm is good. Resisted breathing exercise is helpful. Like, definitely get ahead of the curve on a lot of that, because anything respiratory is just fucking awful. I was a child who got a lot of bronchitis. So I learned all the tricks to beating that shit, because that was awful. Thank you, Demon. We've got 2 puffy hearts so far. I appreciate it. Ooh, crap. Okay, let me have a second. We are getting... So, dental adhesive works with a little bit of moisture on it. And it is better to have a little moisture on it than going in dry. Okay, that quick set of things. There we go. Well, sometimes when all the rest of it is already bothering, when you're, blocked up, you don't notice, that something's going on until there's like a pressure change within the ear that would tip you off that something's going wrong there as well. So sometimes you don't always notice until you notice. And as usual, where's my, there we go. And as usual, we must move the lips out from around the denture plate. So there we go. Not bad, not bad. I think I can do an even better set tomorrow. I might even make that into a tutorial so people can see how to do the thing. Mm-hmm. Thank you, darling Clover. It's funny because I went back through some of my old stuff on here on TikTok, and I gave myself a bad case of dysmorphia. Not body dysmorphia. Well, okay, a little bit of body dysmorphia, but I didn't realize how swollen my face was, how puffy my face was because of what was going on with my teeth, as well as how quickly they were deteriorating. So when I went back and I saw how I looked, I had a little miniature, well, okay, not so miniature, I had a freak out, because it was just that's not me, that's not my face, and holy shit, those, the teeth, oh god, the teeth, no, 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 so yeah, I don't miss having my teeth, I just wish that I had better dentures overall. Thank you so much for adding on to the team. Thank you for becoming one. But yeah. I mean, I have to inform myself. That's how I make everything better. Oh. There we go. That's a little bit better. But yeah, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, no, I've had to educate myself on a lot of different subjects over my life because that's how I survived. That's how I, made sure that I keep breathing. That's who we're. Right, that part. Hey. Cause yeah, that post-surgery is $20K. To get the overall drop-in post is like 40K altogether. I've priced it a couple times, and yeah, just it's mayhem. It's absolute mayhem how expensive those are. I'm really hoping that people, especially palm colored people, show up to a lot of these new marches, the protests and whatnot that are coming out. If you show up in large numbers, especially, and have a mission statement and actually put forward what you want to see done, y'all are actually going to be incredibly helpful in getting this country back on track, and getting a lot of things sorted out. So please show up with demands. Your collectiveness will actually help get a lot of things changed. And I think, like, if we, this time around, let's see, on the April the 5th, I think there was 5 million people that showed up. If we could get 20 million people to show up for these marches, I think there's a lot of change that could be done, especially when it comes to like things like healthcare and workers' rights, amongst so many other things. And no, like everybody, especially everybody who's like a small business, regular person, they're getting hit the hardest. Those at the top are not. And like at this point, we literally collectively need to show up, show out, and make some damn demands, because they're supposed to be working for us, not the other way around. Right? Dental work is dental acts like that these are just luxury items, and it's like, these are not luxury bones, ass. They aren't luxury. You need this to be healthy, because this affects the rest of the system, and when it's not, like, bad things. Bad things. Oh, I understand. I really understand. Like, college student in 2008. College student when there was that big burst and pop and drop and everything. So, yeah, I understand. By the way, thank you so much for doing this. That helps me get out to the For You page, and, yeah, thank you. I very much appreciate it. We won't necessarily do party tricks today, because I got the fangs in already, and the last couple times I've accidentally popped my fangs off. But we will at least do a tarot card pull when we get to 10K, so thank you. Yeah, and that's the thing, is I think this next time around, or the next couple of protests around, people need to start showing up with, like, dental needs to be part of healthcare, mental needs to be like, we need to really start advocating for universal basic income, universal healthcare, and to, honestly, in my opinion, we need to get rid of insurance companies, because they're middlemen that are taking a shit ton of money and never really fulfilling their end of the bargain. So what the fuck are we paying them for? Just saying. Right, that part. Oh my god, I am so with you. Yes. So let's see, I'm trying to decide what I want to wear tonight, because I am going to do in a bathery, and I think I want to do like a little candle blessing ceremony, go a little bit witchy for a photo shoot. That part. They'll tell you that they're going to cover X, Y, and Z, and then they don't cover it. And you're like, what the fuck? Like, what the fuck? Like, why am I paying all this money? Why am I paying into taxes? Why am I paying into this, that, and the third? For them to say, oh yeah, we'll cover this, and then when you show up, they suddenly don't cover it. And it's like, what? Like, what? It doesn't make any sense. So, I have $700 that I need to make for rent. I gotta figure out some way to do that or another, and that's gonna be like ASAP. But after that, I would love to get my nails done I don't know why, but I'm thinking like red at the bottom, like transitioning or ombre up into like a clear or a matted white. I really want claws. I really, really, really want claws. The other thought is doing black and gold, but I know that gold doesn't always read on camera as gold. Sometimes it just reads as kind of a dingy yellow. And I'm like, I gotta think about that. I kind of want a little bit more zhuzh to the nails. So I love Chloe. I do love Chloe's. They do fantastic work. I adore them. But I'm kind of thinking of maybe looking around, seeing what other nail techs are out there, and see if any of them do some more decorative claw styles. Because I'm not here looking like a beach girly. I don't mind the beach girly look, but the beach girly look as far, the beach girlies who need to be able to reach into their purse and get things out and just, be like having their best tanned life. I, on the other hand, want to be that. I want to be a vampire. I want to be something dangerous and sumptuous and gluttonous. So I need a bit more richness to go with it. No, I have not, and that's why I'm like a little bit panicked right now, because my car is now not fit for DoorDash driving, and the last couple times that I have tried dashing, I've gotten literally nothing. No engagement, no offers, no nothing. Like literally sitting around for hours getting fucking nothing. So I am looking into driving for like medical, and I'm gonna look at a few other things. I'm also looking into like work from home kind of situations. I am right now. I'm a little bit stressed, and sometimes it is hard for me to get into the right mindset to do all of my side hustles and whatnot, because it's like some of my side hustles require that I be in a very particular mindset, and just, I'm trying to do everything, and it's sometimes a little bit difficult, and it's difficult for me to sometimes ask for help because people have been so helpful for so long, but also right now we're in the middle of crisis and everybody is just so. Oh, really? Let me write that down. I'm taking suggestions. Blue Shield, California. Okay. Thank you. Okay. Good. And I just got a signal booster, so if you haven't noticed, my signal is so much cleaner. Everything is like so much nicer, so much better. Try West. Okay. Try West. Thank you. But yeah, I'm definitely hoping to kind of find a medical driver situation, because I like driving. I actually like driving. I've been driving for most of my life. I actually like driving and doing delivery, because it's like doing a mini side quest. You got the thing, you drop the thing off, yeah, ready to go. So, but yeah, that's what I'm hoping. That is definitely what I'm hoping. And that's also like part of why I'm doing like the dress up and the photo shoot tonight with the manifestation, because yeah, I'm like, integrate it all, make it into content, make it a wonderful, beautiful, lovely thing. So you know how it goes. Actually, I kind of want, I'm gonna pop off the things only because I want to eat a little bit more before I there we go. Hey everybody, how you doing? Come on in. Classic Sanguine Thread. We're gonna sit and do a little bit of banter. Getting everything put together. If you would like tarot card readings, the blinks are in Lio. If we get to 10K likes, I will pull a community card. Hey, how you doing, hon? Come on in. We're working on a lot. There's a lot going on. Right now, I definitely could use some mutual aid. I will say it. I could definitely use some mutual aid. But yeah, there's going to be a little bit of a shift on the channels. You're probably going to notice it pretty quick. I'm going to do daily life, just regular Sanguine Threads here. Yes! Doing more regular Sanguine Threads, daily content on this channel. And then over on In a Bathory, which is now taken off of private, I will be doing In a Bathory. I will be doing ASMR. I will be doing, you know, dark and sumptuous. Hey, how you doing, Carly? By the way, for the degree diamond asterisk, what name would you like me to use for you? That way I can refer to you with a name as a person. Sometimes I can't always decode what somebody's symbols mean per se, but yeah. Thank you, Miss Tyler. You're good. You're good. I appreciate that. Yay. It is. It's a champong ramyun. I just picked that up from H Mart. It was like $4 for a 5-pack, and it is so delicious. Oh, no worries. You're good. You're good. She, her. Definitely. I'm feeling the she, her, so thank you. Yay! Remember to wear your retainer. Remember to wear your retainer. I remember that when I got mine off. So yeah, remember to use your retainer. Yay! Is Angel. Oh, okay. Fair. Honestly, find yourself any Asian market or a market that is like non-American, and you will find so many lovely, wonderful foods to try out. So yes. Do I still use a retainer with dentures? I wore a retainer for about 3 years after getting my braces off. So yeah, like it's to help solidify those teeth to stay in place, because when you are using braces, it makes your bone a lot more malleable. Thank you, darling. Thank you. And when your bone is more malleable, if you don't wear the retainer, you can have some regression in the teeth. No worries. No. To me, it's a joke. Like the first couple of times when I was like starting to wear my dentures and whatnot, I was like, damn it, I forgot I had teeth. And somebody was like, they're on the table. I'm like, oh, for fuck's sake, that is not what I meant, but funny. I take it with a little bit of humor to it, a little bit of tongue in cheek. So yeah. What happened? What's going on? Yay! Oh my god. Fuck yeah. I love that for you. Ooh, that's right. I'm supposed to update things. Update. And hearts. I am so happy. That is good. Now, do I dare ask what kind of cancer you were doing with? Thank you, Miss Wendy. You're a rock star as frickin' always. And hearts. I need apparently 3 of those. Thank you. Oh, same as me. Well, of course, I had them just go ahead and take that all out, because, fuck, I did not need those. Hey, how you doing, mama? I am having myself some champong ramyun. I added a little bit of bok choy stem, which has a nice kind of light green to it. It's the spicy seafood flavor. Fair enough, fair enough. We know what you mean, though. Yeah, it is. It so is. And then I added a little bit of slow-cooked pork belly. Because we love a bit of good pork belly. That pork belly is it's coming out so good. Right. And I hope to be able to show off a few more of those skills. So yes, Sanguine Threads is going to be kind of my crafting daily life, which is what I meant it to be originally. And a Bathory is going to be a little bit more tongue-in-cheek, a little bit more body and whatnot. Definitely, like, cook it with the fat on, but definitely trim off some of the fat, because that can cause some issues. But much like a person with lactose intolerant, apparently my solution to that issue is just to power through it. I'm a terrible person. If nothing else, it really cleans you out. Right. You learn to balance things out. You do learn to find solutions, as it were. Yes, right. We are not quitters. I honestly believe I'm slowly becoming lactose intolerant. But I'm just like, yeah, now I understand why people who are fully lactose intolerant will not give up the cheese. You're like, you know what? Right? If it's not gonna unalive me, I will swallow. Yeah, no, I meant that exactly how I said that. I'm like, lactose intolerance, gluten intolerance, soy intolerance. Like, at this point, fuck it. I don't have the funds to micromanage every last thing I eat, so okay, that is a big piece of fat, so I'm gonna leave that alone. But that is also a piece of fat. I'm gonna leave that alone. I'm bold. I'm not stupid. Dude, soy does not like me, but I still love the flavor of it now and again. No, you gotta swallow. You gotta. If you've gone through all of that buildup, you might as well swallow it. 'Cause if not, it feels like you're quitting in the 11th hour. I love how the crowd has divided. I freaking love you. I freaking love you for that. Oh my god. Oh my god. I freaking love you for that. I'm having some ramyun. It's the spicy seafood flavor. Let's see, where did I put... There we are. I'm like... Especially if somebody, you know, if somebody went through all the trouble to make something like that, I mean, if it's only a mouthful, huck it to the back of your throat and hope for the best. See, but then, I don't know, there's so much other cleanup, and I'm just like, I'm the type of person who doesn't like to have to clean up, so I'm just saying. Right? If you're already committed to the bit. If you're already committed to the bit. Okay, making sure I don't have any... Making sure I don't have any makeup on from the night before. I didn't wear too much makeup to the meetup, but I'm gonna make sure that I've gotten it all off. I don't know how, but I always get, like, when I do a tight waterline. Thank you, Demetrius. When I get a tight waterline, I can never seem to get quite all of the makeup off. It takes me like 3 or 4 swipes. I appreciate it. So I went to another Black Munch. It was held at the same place. Some of the same people that I met were there again, which yay. Quite a few new people, and the vibe was a little bit different. But since there were a couple of new people, or a couple of old people that I had met before, I was able to, keep it going, and I was able to nerd out, so. Aw, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, we're gonna focus more on, daily life and building towards, getting to 1,000 over on my In a Bathery page, where I'm gonna have more of the, if you like the ASMR, especially with the nails and whatnot, and you're over the age of 21, head to that page. I'm gonna be doing more stuff over there, in a slightly different capacity. So, just saying. But that's my other thing. Yeah, sorry, I saw the comments flying me. That's my other thing is I don't trust other people's aim. Because some of them try and get sneaky. So if I can control the aim, I do exactly that. That way, I don't have to redo my hair. I wouldn't have to redo my makeup. I don't have to worry about wiping down spills, as it were. So I'd much rather control the trajectory. Yes! And raspberry is super popular right now. They are fantastic. I'm just, I had a really good, what was it, Moon Donuts? Wasn't fantastic service when I showed up, but the donuts were definitely top tier, so a little bit of balance. These are the claws we are working with. Black and purple, purple and black. We did the ombre effect. They did powder dip on this side, and they did, what do you call it, airbrush on this side. So yeah. It's funny what happens when you just give them a little taste of their own medicine. They freak out. It's like, sir, I'm just returning the favor. Maybe next time we'll follow instructions the first time around. Yeah. Now they do need to get filled, but I'd really like to pay my rent up first. Just saying, would really like to pay my rent up first. So yeah. But as soon as that is paid, and I really need to pay that. As soon as that is paid, I would like to take y'all on another field trip to get the nails filled. Part of me almost wants to have them take these off and just install the claws. Just install, I just want them to install some 2-3 inch claws, because oh my god, I need the length. I really want the length. I'm champing at the bit, as it were. Come here, you. There we go. I love that. Beautifully evil. So yeah, I'd love to have length. I want to have, claws. Hello. Now, if we do have a nail sub or two out there who's like champing at the bit to see more, or wants more, or wants to fund that field trip, by all means, find the right places. We can work something out. Content can be made as an appreciation. So, yeah. But yeah, I'm just like, if I could get this, if I could honestly get this installed, like, I would be a very, very happy camper with. And maybe not like, they don't need to be festooned. I love to festoon the press-on nails that I make. But like, mine would probably be like painted, like given artwork, but not all of this stuff on top. Because I get caught on everything. I learned that the hard way. I get caught on everything. So, I that's why I grew up the villain era gray, is so people would understand. No. I'm definitely I'm not that young. I'm not that young. I am a person who has some experience, some maturity, and I am really wanting to get into a very particular type of work, to create a very particular type of image. I like being in a battery. I like putting on the persona of in a battery, and having that air of refinement while also, you know, fighting for mortals. You know, they're lovely little creatures, but you do have to make sure that they're fed and watered and taken care of. And, well, if you have more than enough to do as such, then that's exactly what you should be doing. I want to really dive into a world that I've been living very quietly in a lot of regards. I want to be able to do that much more loudly and as a profession. So, and part of that is going through like a hair journey, like really reconnecting with certain parts of my heritage. I've been like binge watching stuff about nails, stuff about hair. I don't know if my hair will ever support certain styles that I think are absolutely gorgeous, but like they have a certain type of hair that needs to be present in order for it to work correctly. I don't feel like giving myself traction alopecia, so there are certain styles that I will never try to have because my hair is slightly European. And so the tension that would be needed to keep that hairstyle in place would take my hair out of my scalp. No thank you. But also, I know that there isn't just one way to do like a black hair journey or a black nail journey. But yeah, I just... You can hear it in my voice. I was raised very Californian and in incredibly like palm-colored spaces. So like reconnecting with some of that heritage that I did not get to connect with when I was much younger is something I really want to do. I am just still... I know it sounds odd. I'm still unlearning meekness. And that has been something that has taken... That has taken like a hot minute to like really figure out. Because I'm just like, what isn't connecting? What isn't quite matching up with some of the stuff that I'm doing, some of the content I'm making, some of the places and spaces I'm in or that I'm at. And it's that, yeah, I forgot. I forgot part of who I am, and part of not just the expectation of me, but like some of the privileges that I have. And I realized, oh, people are confused by my code, because my code switch wasn't quite matching their expectation. And I'm just like, oh, I guess I do have permission to like really start to like embody those things, wander into those things, try those things out. And yeah, it needs to be a whole ass thing. It needs to be a whole ass journey. I know. But yeah, I need to unlearn some of that meekness, some of that. And it's funny because, like, I mean, most of y'all are like, you're incredibly extroverted, like, on here. I'm like, there's a difference. I haven't been taking up a lot of social media space. Like, I take up a lot of space on my channel, of course, but I haven't taken up a lot of social media space. And that's what I'm trying to, like, unlearn right now, is that social media meekness. Because, I don't know, I guess part of me was worried that I'd be taking up too much space, that I'd be too much if I showed up, if I presented. And, like, I'm sitting there going, oh, I need to present myself to the world instead of going, hi, I just, the thing over here. But yeah. I'm with you, Sierra. Yeah. That part. It's like having to remind yourself that it is your life, Angel. And yeah, it's like, I think that's the problem is I've been just like, well, just let me keep my head down. Let me make sure that I'm doing my best to fit in and follow along to a certain extent. And I'm just like, oh wait, no. I need to be louder. I need to be bolder, because I don't want to be living in this 12 by 13 room for month after month, year after year. I want my own place, my own space. I want to have planted aquariums again. I want to have 3-inch claws. I want to have, beautifully done, just full hair, like a sew-in or crochet or something. I really want to step into an era where my grills look like vampire teeth and they're highly ornate. I want that abundance, not so that I can be like uber rich multi-millionaire who's forgotten where they come from. No, fuck that noise. I want to be comfortable. I want to be loudly myself. And then I want to also give other people the opportunity to do the same and be themselves and live comfortably. Am I from Australia? Her? No, I'm not from Australia. I'm definitely from Southern California, though. Hey, thank you, Stormy. Yes. I kind of wish I was from Australia. Only because they have a decrim of SW. So yeah. Yes, I am. So I am half black, half white. Nothing spectacular. Half black, half white, adopted, and gifted and talented education, all that kind of other good stuff. Yeah. Loudly myself, and I love it. That's what we need to do is be loudly ourselves. Like, I love Gen Z on a certain level, but I really hope to pull them away from the conservatism that I'm seeing more and more Gen Z like kind of get pushed towards. Fuck respectability politics and screw people who are like, oh my god, that's weird, that's odd, that's cringe. I'm like, yeah, no shit, that's the point. Be yourself. Don't fall into fitting in just so you don't get made fun of. Like, oh wow, they made fun of you, and be louder, be bolder, be more yourself. Oh yeah. And not to tell tales out of school, because honestly, to me, it's just information. My adoptive parents, they deeply sheltered me on a lot of levels. I think it has stunted part of my maturity and my ability to be a bit more of a self-starter in certain regards. So like I'm still healing and learning from cutting myself off from my parents about going on 8 years now. But yeah, like I'm a lot and I understand it, but like I've lived a lot of life quietly and now I just want to live it a lot louder. Oh, you're Puerto Rican? Your mom is German, Polish, and Irish. Yes! Oh my god, yes, right? And yeah, my mom was very, very palm colored. I was raised evangelical Christian. Yes, my father was black, but like he taught me nothing about the black experience at all. So I grew up very in the way I code myself, and it's like I am slowly tearing that away, and I think I'm slowly becoming better for it, to say the least. I spent 2.5 years in the foster system. Um, that was I have very, very faint memories from that, but it was traumatic in a lot of ways. I was in a household that had something like 13, 14 kids at a time. Very, very large household worth of kids. And, like, even at 2.5, I was told, like, not to cry at my going away party because I would make the other kids upset. There was constantly people, like, coming and going. Um, I know that I have, like, certain types of abandonment issues, which I'm gonna probably be working on for the rest of my life. Um, but yeah, I got adopted by people who were trying to basically use me to, I don't know, I guess cover over their failures in certain ways. And they thought that I was going to be like smart and athletic and, you know, this, that, and the third, and I was going to just follow everything that they told me to do. Well, it came out that, yes, I was smart as a fucking whip. In fact, far too smart for my own good at points, but also highly rebellious. And, I mean, I was 5'4" when I was very young. So my father thought I was going to be like, oh my god, they're going to be playing in the WNBA. They're going to be a basketball player. This is going to be awesome. And I stopped at like 5'5". So I'm just like, woo! Well, shit. So, you know, it happens. It happens. But yeah, just... I never quite turned out the way they thought I was going to be, or the way they wanted me to be. But yeah. Hey! How you doing, Ari? My mom kept me away from my dad, so I didn't know much about Spanish. But yeah. Like, yeah, I get exactly what you mean. And yeah, when you're disconnected from part of your heritage, like a lot of times you feel like the outsider, and you watch your culture, you watch your heritage, you watch your culture, your oh shit. Yeah, if Jordan, if you want to do that, I mean, blinks are in Lio. I want to say a 12 volt, I think runs about $300, but if you want to give direct support, I will purchase that battery directly myself, and I actually do have a friend who will help me get that installed so that I will have a reliable, or at least a more reliable means of transportation, especially for jobs and whatnot. Honestly, I'd very much appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for the offer. Thank you. But yeah, no, yeah. What was I? Oh, culture. Hey, hi Fitz. How you doing, darling? Yeah, it's when you're this color coded, and then you get your first introduction into, like, for me, it was introduction into black spaces. Other black people see me as black, and so they approach me as black, and then I open my mouth and they're going, where did this white woman come from? And it's like, oh yeah, that's right, I can code switch. So, you know, I'd switch up to fit in a little bit more. But there are certain points and times where you just really feel like you're wearing the suit, but you're not part of that culture. You feel like you've missed out on something. So you almost have to learn about your culture secondhand in a lot of ways, in a lot of fashions. And sometimes you're much more hesitant to participate in the culture that you belong to because you feel slightly other, and you don't want to out yourself as not being deeply a part of the community. You don't want to make the misstep and misrepresent your community, especially if you happen to be around mixed company. And so, yeah, it becomes a quandary, a bit of a quagmire, as it were, to go walking through. Last night actually went pretty well. A couple people that I met from last time were there again. Had some fun with them. Met some new people. They weren't quite my vibe. I definitely nerded the fuck out last night. We were talking DC and Marvel. So yeah, my old school geek. Yes, I went to another munch. Apparently they're held like every roughly second week of the month. So yeah, I'm gonna hopefully start looking up more events to go to, because I really want to get not only into the LGBTQ community more, but I also want to get into the Black community more, and I definitely want to get into the educationally community a lot more. And there's a lot of classes that I want to take. They're not necessarily expensive, but I need to be able to like show up and show out for them, because yeah, I have just more recently started to really explore like what is my style, especially as a dominant personality, because I am technically a switch, and I am now having to actually portray that personality digitally. And that is very different from doing it in person, because in person you have a lot more talk, a lot more initial back and forth, versus like when you're trying to put that across digitally, you have to come out of the gate already in that headspace to get your point across. So that's definitely a shift from my normal. Hey, Ariana, how you doing, darling? Sorry, we've got a couple of people with very, very similar names, so I'm sorry if I ever like flub those. Yeah. I'm definitely having some fun. The same young man, I call him young man only because he's slightly younger than I am. Same young man who walked me out to my car the first time around, walked me back out to my car this time around. So it felt like really kind of nice to have that protective person. And it's the politeness of it. It's the common courtesy of it. It is, yeah, it's the gentlemanliness of it. Ah, thank you so much for joining the team. And it doesn't feel, I wouldn't quite say he's my particular cup of tea straight off the bat, but like his nerdiness and his politeness. Oh yeah, definitely look up those events. I think you will definitely enjoy them. But yeah, like he's got a full beard. He always smells really good. He's always dressed really clean, really nice. I'm not even thinking of it as a potential. Like, I'm not putting like a romantic spin of any sort of it. But like if we develop like a friendship or a kinship, I'd be very, very happy about that. I would be very, very happy about that, because there seems to be a very much an understanding of each other, especially as far as like nerdiness goes. We actually, we could go back and forth about like Marvel movies and what we think about, the casting choices, what we think about like the different plot lines, how some of the movies have gone, what could have been done better. Like, we had such good discussions. Like Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I can't stand Peter Quill. I just can't. And the storyline between him and Gamora felt super forced in that particular movie. And his involvement in the movie was not needed at all. At frickin' all. Like, they could have done away with his storyline completely and replaced it much more heavily with a focus on Rocket Raccoon, and the High Evolutionary. So, like, that could have done better, and, like, we had, like, a good back and forth about that. We even started to... When we switched over to DC, we were talking about, like, Superman. And I'm like, Henry Cavill is okay. Like, he's a good Superman, but he's a terrible Clark Kent. And Clark Kent is the heart of what makes Superman Superman. Clark Kent is the actual person. Superman is the alter ego. Versus, like, Batman, where Batman is the base of the person and Bruce Wayne is the alter ego. So, yeah, like, Christopher Reeves was fantastic because he was a really good Clark Kent. You could believe that he was just this big brick house of a farm boy who, you know, grew up in rural Kansas, being taught to be a good person by his mother and father, you know, helping out with farm chores and shit, until, you know, he started coming into his power, and then being taught by those same parents, hey, you're different, but that's okay. But you have to control your temper. You have to keep your strength in check. Like, you can use it for good reasons, but, like, you have to keep a lot of your strength in check, because if you just lose your temper, if you are quick to anger, if you are quick to strike back, you could potentially do massive amounts of harm, and that would not be a good thing. Like, they taught him actual empathy for people around him, and they never taught him that people around him who are weaker are less than. They taught him that you need to protect those people around you because you are stronger, because you are faster, because you can do so much more. Like, you have to be aware of that and use that for the good of humanity, as it were. But yeah, like, Christopher Reeves, very believable as Clark Kent and as Superman. But Henry Cavill, good as Superman, does not make a convincing Clark Kent. Thank you, darling. I do appreciate it. I can't wait till they are so much longer. I think I'm going to be even more comfortable the longer they get. So, yeah. Woo. Oh. Like, oh, I'm glowing. And it's because I am lightly perspiring. I've got some bright lights on today, so we are definitely listening in a particular fashion. But yes. How is everybody? How goes? Welcome, come on in. Let's see. Gonna get that out of the way. Hello. Thank you, darling. Now I'll be changing out the summer dress after I get off camera, because I'll be going over to some verified sites. Let's see. Today is Wednesday. Tomorrow's Thursday. Yeah. Come on in. Decompress for a bit. 4 to 7, roughly, is going to be the new time frame. And then I'll be over on the verified sites from about 8 to 10-ish each day. That is going to be an adjustment for me. But yeah, I want to show up and show out in those arenas as well. So if that is your thing, be clever, come find me. I would say check out the throne room. That has the keys to the kingdom. And if you're a very loyal fan, you'll know where to go. So Sanguine Threads is going to be very much my decompression page, my grocery hauls, cooking, crafting, you know, just sanguine on a regular level. No, well, I mean, you know, there are places where you can find, you know, only the fans as well. But I like where the loyal fans gather. more. Just it's a nicer place, it's a better place, and it's an easier place to go live for me. So I enjoy it over there. Talk to the friend, like actually talk to the friend. Sometimes just a lot gets going on. Sometimes it's the ADHD. I don't know what the AD is, but I got 80 of them. Anyways, yeah, but like actually talk to him. Hey, how you doing, honey? Oh, it is a safety pin. Honestly, in the future, I want so much more ink work done. I think I have finally decided on some ink work that I would like actually done. So, but yeah, I'm sorry. Let's go with the friend's advice. Let me finish my thought process. Talk to them. Sometimes it's depression. Sometimes it's anxiety. Sometimes they've just got a lot going on in their world. Other times, I mean, if the signs are clear, have a discussion with them about like what's going on, and if you need to, because you need to be around people who value you as a person and include you in their world versus slowly icing you out and making you a little stir crazy up here and then going, I thought you knew that I didn't want to be around you. Like, or, oh no, I just, like half the times it's the, I am so sorry, I've been super busy, I've just been up in my own head, I didn't mean to act like I'd forgotten about you. Like I had a friend who was like, oh my god, I swear to god I haven't. I'm like, I knew that you were traveling, I knew that you were doing a lot of things for work, so I was waiting so that I wasn't going to be interfering with like whatever you had going on. They're like, okay, so when do we want to hang out? I'm like, Sunday sounds good. Sunday sounds good. Sunday sounds good. So we've got, a date there where I'm going to go over. I'm going to hang out with them, probably just chill and whatnot. And yeah, like a lot of my friends are neurodivergent, a lot like myself. So much of the time they are not meaning to necessarily forget about me. They just have a lot going on in their own life. So, yeah. Thank you. So yeah, this is actually a very multi-level statement. And what it is safety pin being I'm a safe person to be around. If you have a problem, come find me. I got this shortly after 2016. We all know what happened then. Because there was a very, very sharp rise in instances with people wearing red hats being incredibly untoward to people who were different than themselves. So I needed people to know that, yeah, I'll stand in front of you if I got to. I'll put up the fight if need be. At the very least, I will bark back at them. I'll make that other person uncomfortable on so many levels. I have NC on it. NC being non-compliant. It is from a comic book called Bitch Planet. I want to say that Marvel put that out, if I'm not mistaken. And I'm a very non-compliant person. I will often buck a trend or go against what is conformity, because sometimes, or actually a lot of times, conforming is not the best way to go about things. So sometimes you gotta buck that trend, and I'm definitely a person who will do that in quiet ways and loud ways as well. And then the winged needle and thread is because I'm a crafter, so it's what fuels me. It's what gives me wings in a lot of ways. So yeah. I love Gen Z on a lot of levels. I don't want to see you all become conservative. I am so worried about how many of y'all are becoming conservative. And I'm like, millennials and Gen X fought so hard to get rid of, or at least bring down some of like the stigma around being different, around being empathetic, around just being yourself, whether that was cringy or not, being yourself. And like we're seeing a lot of backsliding now towards that conservatism, which is like worrisome. Cause yeah, we don't want you to have to go through the bullshit that we went through. That's the reason we fought so hard to be weird, to be different, to be punk, goth, alternative, all of whatnot. That's why we fought for like body modifications, for reinvesting in culture and in heritage, because we remember what it was like growing up in super conservative, sheltered households. Even though my parents were like considered like Democrats, which were like, I guess, liberal or whatever. Like, I was raised evangelical Christian. Looking back, I'm like, oh my God, the amount of trauma. The amount of trauma. Holy shit. Like, I'm still undoing a lot of that. But it's like, I don't want to see Gen Z go back to conformity because they think it might be a safer place to be. Conformity only leads to more conformity, and the more you conform, the less you can express yourself. And the less you can express yourself, the more stress tends to build up in your system, the more resentful you become of those who do just express themselves. So yeah, like, I'm all about being able to just be yourself. I mean, yes and no. Like, yes, a lot of them are pushing. Like, if you're in alt spaces, you'll still see a lot of Gen Z. But, like, there's this weird reoccurrence right now of a rise of conservatism, a slight louder barking of religion, and it's not so much the younger Gen Zs per se, it's the slightly older Gen Zs, and yes, yes, we are. Religious trauma / conservatism versus, self-expression. So yeah, I don't think it's the younger Gen Z, because the younger Gen Zs and Gen Alpha are fucking fair. At some points, I'm almost going, I'm not expecting you to conform to everything, but I'm gonna need you to stop engaging with adults, cause you're still a kid, and observe, look, listen, get some critical thinking skills first, and quit trying to be edgy by forcibly pushing yourself into adult spaces. You're putting yourself in danger. And I only know that you're putting yourself in danger because millennials and Gen Xers went and got pushed into adult spaces, or tried to push our way into adult spaces, and then found out the hard way that, oh, these adults are not good. These adults are predators. So, yeah. I think certain Abrahamic faiths are having a bit of an extinction burst, as they put it. But that just means that, hey, how you doing, Secret Goth? That just means that we, as alternatives, as people who are a bit more empathetic, as people who've learned to express themselves, need to push even harder for those that are younger than us to still have those spaces to actually be themselves. And the panini, that was not a good thing. That really set us back in a lot of ways, because it scared the living daylights out of so many people. And, you ended up having to, stay home 24/7 at times, as a younger person, and be educated via computer. You didn't get a lot of that socializing. A lot of teachers were even forcing their kids to conform over frickin' computer screens. Like, you couldn't eat in class, even though you were literally at home. You couldn't do certain things in class, even though you were literally at home. And I think there was a lot of chances for socialization and finding your group and your niche that got taken away from the Gen Zs when the panini happened. So I think that set back that ability to be yourself, express yourself, which was very, very unfortunate. And I'm still really hoping that we can fight for those spaces and help give the Gen Z and the Gen Alpha a place where they can express themselves, be themselves, find their niche. And it's okay. You know what? It's okay to fuck up. It's okay. It's totally okay to fuck up. It really, really is. And I think that needs to be made known, that you can absolutely mess up. And yeah, you're like cringe for a second, but then go, you know what? No, I'm gonna do it again. Fuck it. Let's do the thing. Let's do the thing. Yeah. Yeah, and I think the rise of cults very much again has to do with that isolationism that we got kind of forced into. I really, 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 really wish people had taken, and I mean we're still technically in the middle of a pandemic. I really wish that people had taken the panini seriously and stayed home for like that first 2 to 6 months, so we could have knocked it way, 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 way back. And instead, we are still witnessing the rise of multiple illnesses and a lot of people who are not taking any sort of safety precautions. Like, I go to the store, especially the grocery store, I usually have a face mask on. Like 99% of the time, I got a face mask on. Because, you know, I never know what my allergies are going to be like that day. And, you know, I don't feel like breathing in everybody else's air per se. And, you know, heaven forbid I did happen to have, like, something that I don't even know about. I want to make sure that I'm protecting other people around me, because that's what the face mask was for, is to keep you from spreading your germs to the world, as it were. But yeah, just so many people out there still not wearing the face mask. And I'm like, it's not even just about, like, say, C19. It's not even about, like, SARS. It's not about H1N5. It's not about all the different things. It's like people didn't even realize how many people were actually surviving now through flus, and suddenly not getting flu during flu season, not getting colds during cold season, not dealing with the stomach flus that tend to go around, or a lot of the other stuff that goes around. Because you were wearing a fucking face mask, you weren't spreading it. I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Yes. Oh my God. You're right. You're right. A lot of Gen Z have trouble talking, like speaking socially, interacting socially, and like I can't tell if that's because they were kind of isolated a little bit for that 4 years or so, or what. But like it's like we're having this gap in socialization where not only do they not know how to speak socially amongst themselves, they don't understand that you could say something and not agree with somebody else without canceling them. They don't understand what cancel culture is actually for. And now they're just like, oh, we're going to cancel you for this, that, and the third. And it's like, no. Hi, Sonny. How you doing, darling? I hope you're doing well. Right, it is weird. It's definitely weird. Yeah, yeah. And so many of them were either told to be quiet or forced to be quiet while learning school, or getting schooled at home via a computer, where a teacher could literally go and mute you so that you could say nothing. And I'm just like, like, yes, they needed to stay home, but like the power trip that certain teachers had over being able to silence children at the drop of a hat. They could turn off a mic. It's like, what the fuck? So like, yeah, these kids had their voice stolen from them in a lot of ways. Yes, and so I think so many of them were not taught critical thinking. Text messages can be very, very flat. Sometimes even I misunderstand something that is said on live stream because I'm reading a text, and a text can have many different meanings depending on where the inflection is on a word. So there will be times that I read something and I misread or I misunderstand the tone of the word, and it's like, fuck. And I like, there's been a couple times I'm like, oh, okay, I read that really wrong. I feel bad, and rightfully so. I feel like, yeah, I was in the wrong because I read that wrong and I misunderstood something that somebody was saying. It's like, fuck. Right, right. Well, and I think that there's also, um, with communication via phone and iPad and all that kind of stuff, there's also been like parents who have been bullies about that shit. Oh my god, you've always got your head down. And not just parents, but like parents and grandparents. Oh my god, you've always got your head down. You're always just looking at your iPad. Da da da. Like making these kids feel ashamed for communicating in a new style instead of going, "Hey, can we converse this way? Like, can we talk? Can we have a conversation? Because we need to teach you nuance. We need to teach you nuance. Because without nuance, you learn a lot less about what to say and how to say. And when you don't have that ability to give nuance by changing what you've just said, just slightly adding an extra descriptive word so that your tone reads, like, it shuts down conversation. But a lot of times these kids, when they're looking at their iPad or when they're, on their phone or whatever, a lot of times they were learning. Like, they were looking up stuff. They're like, oh, this is a cool painting. Here, let me learn some more about it. And they were like getting yelled at by like their teachers or by their parents and whatnot. It's like, your kid wasn't being disrespectful. Your kid was literally looking up, like, who made this? Like, when was it made? Like, what's this all about? Like, we didn't teach them to learn deeper. We taught them to not have nuance, to be seen but not heard, and beyond being not heard, like, to be like physically present but don't critically think. And that's biting us in the ass right now. I'm just saying. Mm-hmm. You can definitely talk face to face, but there's also something lovely to be said about like globalism, being able to converse with people from a much broader range. There also still needs to be a lot of nuance talks about different things, different cultures, especially like having talks about appropriation versus appreciation. Like, for a while we were, don't worry, group therapy is a good thing. Therapy is a good thing. Like, yes, I'm entertaining. I understand. I'm entertaining. I get it. But that's not a bad thing to have therapy. Therapy is helpful. Therapy helps us understand better coping mechanisms and undo some of the maladaptive coping mechanisms that we've accidentally developed. So, no, therapy is a good thing. We celebrate the therapy, even if it may not be always your favorite thing to do. So, yeah, see? I was also diagnosed with that and realized later on that's actually not what I have. I was diagnosed with that after 45 minutes while a child was screaming in the background having a meltdown, which was causing me to have a meltdown because I cannot be around children screaming. It gives me flashbacks. It's a nightmare. So yeah, it turns out, no, I've got CPTSD, anxiety and depression that comes with that, and then like the ADHD. So part of me has sort of like looked at, maybe do I have ADHD? But honestly, I don't think so. I think most of it is linked to CPTSD stacking on top of ADHD. and then, you know, having to adapt in certain ways to be able to just survive through the bullshit that I was forced to live in. So now I am slightly still maladaptive as an adult, and I've got to work on some things on my own. But I would love to change my circumstances so that I could be more functional, more present, and uh yeah, no, more functional is I think the word I was going for, but I know that there's a more complete concept that I'm can't quite put into words at the second. Well, because with BPD, a lot of it is your self identity is in it's in flux, and it means that your coping mechanisms are constantly fluctuating and changing. And then CPTSD means that, yes, again, your coping mechanism is constantly changing depending on what the situation is around you, because you've been taught certain things are markers for, oh, this kind of bad thing is going to happen, oh, this kind of shoe is going to drop, I've got to change, you know, to fit that environment. And that can either mean shutting down, becoming small, becoming unnoticed, or becoming larger, becoming a lot more loud, or gregarious or aggressive, as to dissuade the bad thing coming towards you. You basically become a more than what they can chew. And so you fluctuate between the two of them, which can also kind of make it seem like you don't have a stable central identity. And that can be just a landmine and a half right there, to say the least. So yeah, learning that self-identity, learning that coping mechanism, and learning how to build for yourself rather than build for other people, it's a journey. It is a journey. Right? I think a lot of people identify with that, especially if you're like millennial and Gen Z. A lot of things have robbed us of our ability to build self-identity because we were forced to conform to the environment around us, or else. It has taken me, like, to me there's always been nuance, but still a lot of my thinking was very black and white on a lot of levels, and I'm still undoing a lot of that black and white thinking. And honestly, learning more from marginalized groups, even though I'm myself am like a triple time over minority, learning more from other marginalized groups has definitely helped in a lot of regards in breaking that black and white thinking, because they add nuance and they add more layers, and as you see how they intersect, it makes for much more critical thinking. And I need to say this, and everybody, I hope, will store this away. Being uncomfortable is a good thing. I don't mean constantly being uncomfortable. I don't mean constantly being physically or mentally uncomfortable. But sometimes you have to be uncomfortable with a new thought process for a while you unpack some of the internalized bias that you have. So I know I'm still unpacking a lot of shit here and there. But yeah, like sometimes when you sit with that discomfort for a while, you start recognizing what bias you've been taught and where that bias is not serving you. It can. It very much can. BPD can antagonize OCD. Because OCD looks for a pattern to repeat in order to often get ahead of the bad thing. So BPD is usually based off of like trauma that happened often in your childhood or formative years. And if you've got both, they can antagonize each other, and it becomes this big anxiety spiral, to say the least. But yeah, it's the recognizing a pattern of, oh, when somebody talks in this type of voice, this is probably going to be the reaction. I should get ready for this. So yeah, they can get cyclical, and they can definitely have some issues. Hey, how you doing, kitten? Hi. But yeah. Where did I put mine? Oh, let me grab my cards. I'm sorry, it took me forever. I just realized we got past 10K. So I love the fact that I get to put my psych degree to some use. I appreciate that. Yeah, like, and OCD I think it has slightly deeper roots in actual physical brain structure. Hey Abigail. Whereas something like BPD is a bit more like trauma based. So don't think by getting rid of one, you're going to get rid of the other. One is like, you grew with it. It is a part of you. The other is, you got traumatized. Now it's a part of you. But you can learn better coping mechanisms or ways to, like, calm the symptoms, as it were. Oh, yeah. Hello. If anybody needs cards read, it's only 5 per. Let me know. Blinks are in line. Basically, go up, do the thing, come on back, and I will read live for you. You can also now get private reads. So if you want yourself a card read, but you'd like it to be more private, more one-on-one, go to my Mayhem Marketplace, get yourself a private read, and I will do your cards that way. So it is very specific to you, and you will be the only one who sees it. Oh. 2 of Cups. So the 2 of Cups. Cups is a water suit. And this is about the alchemy of it all. Finding the balance between usually yourself and another. Doesn't always have to be necessarily a person, but it can be like the work-life balance, the creativity balance. Yeah, this doesn't feel like the person. This feels much more like a balance within one's own self. That balance between, your responsibilities, getting shit done, and then the self that needs to express. So, yes, you need to take care of a certain amount of, like, responsibilities with, like, work, home, just general everyday functioning, but I think the collective needs to carve out more time to actually feel joy, but also they need to give themselves. Y'all need to give your frickin' selves permission to actually enjoy the things that you enjoy, instead of worrying about whether or not other people will see you as being lazy or not doing enough or this, that, and the third. You have one life. Right now we are in some weird ass dire straits, and the most revolutionary thing you can actually do is enjoy yourself. Do something creative. Make art. Write fan fiction. Underwater basket weaving. Crocheting, cosplaying, making bread, doing community projects, whatever you feel is an expression of yourself. Do it. Can do it. Because the last thing you want to do is, oh, I should have done this, I should have done that. Oh, well, I guess I'm not going to get enough time. Nah, do the thing. Do the thing. Actually enjoy yourself. Reconnect with what makes you you, or at least the you want to be. Take those steps. Take those steps. Find that harmony. Because, damn it, you deserve it. You deserve to have work-life balance. You deserve to be creative and express yourself, whether that is clothing or music or, art or makeup or body modification. Whatever you want to do, do the thing. Do the thing. Because, fuck conformity. Fuck living in a closet. It doesn't do anybody any good except for your oppressor. So, be yourself. Do what you gotta do. Be who you gotta be. So yeah. Hello, hello. Thank you so much for coming on in. Welcome. How do you do? This is a Sanguine Salon. We are doing all the things. I'm also over on the Tube of Views. I'm on Twitch as Sanguine_Bathory. No, I'm sorry. That's my YouTube channel. That's my YouTube channel. Yeah, Sanguine Bathory. No underscore is the Twitch handle. Blinks are in Lio. We're gonna see if I can't get those in order sooner rather than later. Working on all the things right now. A little mildly overextended at points, but I gotta get things up and working. I could definitely use some mutual aid in a few ways, but I will be putting up opportunities for that kind of mutual aid, and at the very least, in the exchange of it all, I will have commissions open for clothing, for artwork, for ever so many things, and yeah, let's make that shit happen. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Come on in. How's everybody doing tonight? I will be on till about 7 o'clock today. And then I will be over at my verified places. If you are a loyal fan, you will know where to go. And we can come on over. We can talk all kinds of fun stuff over there. I absolutely adore getting a better perspective for the more adult mind of people. The bodier sense of who a person is. Because and part of the religious trauma that I have was having to secret away who I was as a person on the LGBTQ, as well as who I was as a person who enjoys things in a lot of regards that I can't necessarily discuss here because of the platform that it is. But yeah, I like to discuss those in other places, and I also like to indulge in those in other places. And yes, I have pretty much no shame about discussing and or indulging in those things over there, where the company is far more mixed and less polite. Why? Because there shouldn't be any shame in it in the first place. Shame and fear are the mind killers. But yes, do feel free to ask any questions. And we can have discussions here. I just have to be coded. I don't need to be nearly as coded in those other places. Thank you so much for all the likes, the loves, the shares, the get me out front and whatnot. I would love to be famous. I have truly thought about that more and more. I would love to be famous in the same way like Elvira is famous, in the same way Dr. Ruth is famous. I don't want to be Kardashian-styled famous. I want to be famous for being fun and informational and for helping people connect with a side of themselves without feeling shame about those things, because there's nothing shameful about those things. So yeah. So if you're looking for the pages and you are clever and over the age of, well, I prefer 21, but it is a verified place, so you have to be over 18 in the first place to be there. I would definitely say check out the throne room. It's going to have a lot of the keys to the kingdom, and if you are a loyal fan, you will know where to go. Right? And there can be plenty of places where you can gather and be human, especially an adult human, and there's no shame in that. Not every place needs to be child and teen friendly, because this is the internet. The internet was never meant for children. Same way as like Pride was not meant for children. And there are times that I'm getting a little tired of capitalism, because capitalism is trying to make things that were not made for children family-friendly events so that they can get more dollars. And it's like they have lost the plot of why those spaces were made in the first place and who populated those spaces, who made those spaces possible, and they were adults. And they were adults who were living their truth and living out loud and living very publicly for once, because they were originally outlawed, illegal, or oppressed. And honestly, to this day, we still have a lot of outlawed, illegal, and repressed people who are still very much trying to make headway and make the world a better place by making it safe to be out, to be loud, to be proud, to be seen, to say the least. So yeah, we still got a lot to do, still a lot to fight for. But yeah. That is why I'm always making sure to let people know I'm not a page for kids. I'm not a page for children. I'm really not a page for teenagers. If you're 18 and above, don't worry, you're fine here. But if you're like below the age of 18, no. Part of it is very much my own personal preference. I like people who are adults, who are older, because I have some higher concept stuff that I talk about, and you need to be of a certain age, of a certain brain preparedness in order to understand. Plus, I'm also a lot more interesting if you're a little bit older. If you're younger, I'm not going to make sense to you. I make a lot of old school references on certain stuff. But also, I don't like minors in my spaces, because sometimes I get aggro adults who are going to be untoward towards anybody, and if they can't get under my skin, they'll find a person who looks younger because it's easier to go for a soft target, and I don't want minors in my space because I don't want them to be in danger of having to deal with an aggressive adult. Because most kids don't know what to do about an aggressive adult that comes after them, which the thing to do is hit the block button. Don't even worry about answering back, just hit that block button and keep hitting that block button every time they show up. Like, nope, 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 nope. And if adult, whether you're an adult yourself or a teenager, whatever, if an adult comes after you and they make some nasty, nasty, nasty comments, go ahead and like screen capture that comment, record it, do whatever you got to do, and then report them, name them, and shame them. I am perfectly okay with you doing that, especially to protect yourself. So like, be careful, please, by all means, but also don't be afraid to report people who are making claims and threats and whatnot, because they shouldn't know a minute worth of peace, if you know what I mean. What was my favorite subject in school? What was my least favorite subject in school? Honestly, I mean, I really liked the sciences. Psychology was probably one of my favorites. Psychology and sociology were probably like my favorite subjects in school, and I count college to go with that, because that was awesome. It was how people think, how people interact, what drives your motivation, all that kind of stuff. Least favorite? Honestly, it's hard to like pin down like what my least favorite was. Because like I had least favorite teachers. And I had trouble. I had so much trouble with English. I had so much trouble with English. I could speak English just fine. Clearly. It was learning how to put my thoughts in order. And like literally like write out my thought process and make it make sense to other people. And I had not so great English teachers, so it took me a very long time to learn how to do that so that I was understood by other people in a way that made sense when it was repeated back to me. Because again, I can take in a lot of information, I can speak out a lot of information. Writing all that information down, so difficult with the ADHD, and I was very much undiagnosed, especially in high school, for the ADHD, so it made communicating at times difficult. But in that discomfort, I learned how to write pretty long essays and research projects. Wasn't all bad. Hey, thank you. How you doing? Yeah, school's not easy for everyone, and I won't ever say that my school was easy for me. But I know that I definitely had it easier than some people. I definitely had it easier than some people in a lot of regards. Ooh, also higher level math. I fucking hated trig. And it took me forever to understand. You know, I'll take that back. I still don't understand sines, cosines, tangents. I have no idea what any of those mean to this day. I still cannot, for some reason, conceptualize those things. Yeah, I mean, high school was difficult. I think mostly because my brain wasn't formed enough for certain of those concepts. 8th grade algebra, I got a like a C minus D. Okay, it was bad. Literally the next year, freshman year, had to take algebra again. Suddenly the concepts made a lot more sense. So I think it was just about formation in the brain of certain concepts and whatnot. And yeah, that, oh my god, I got a straight A, like every single quarter in freshman year. But yeah, 8th grade, oh, I couldn't. It was, algebra was so freaking hard. Freshman year of high school, algebra was the most simple thing I'd ever seen. I was like, oh, this makes sense. Yeah. But then I had trouble with geometry. Okay, my teacher was about as boring as paste drying on the wall. But like proofs, you want me to prove something is untrue, so then I can prove how it's true? Like, that didn't make a damn bit of sense. Like, I knew 2 plus 2 is 4. Why do I have to disprove 2 plus 2 is 4 just to prove that 2 plus 2 is 4? Like, the fuck? What? Like, it was a logic puzzle that didn't make any sense to me. But then again, the next year I took an advanced type of mathematics with a different teacher, and suddenly all those concepts made a lot more sense. I still felt some of them were bullshit, but they made a lot more sense. But yeah. Right. And I wish they would give you better real-world examples of how you're going to use a lot of those skills, because they make it seem like your mathematics skills especially are going to be things that you only have to apply to sciences or to a college degree. They don't teach you how you, in the real world, will use mathematics or algebra without even thinking about it. Like estimations, like how many feathers are going to fit into a square foot? You know, how much fiber fill are you going to need for a pillow? You know, how much money are you going to spend when you're at the grocery store? You're going to make guesstimations on a lot of it, to include the taxes and whatnot. Like, there are so many real-world applications that you just don't think about, because a lot of times teachers make it seem like you're only ever going to use these as actual mathematical pen-to-paper kind of situations, rather than quick math in your head, where you're guesstimating size of a thing, if something's going to fit, how much you're going to need to create a product, so on and so forth, etc. Right, oh my god, absolutely. The right teacher is absolutely the most impactful thing ever. Yeah. I love statistics. It is one of my favorite. But again, I think it was like the first time I took statistics, I felt a little bit lost because I had a really shitty teacher. The guy would only ever give one example, never explained anything. And if you're like, no, I really don't get it, can you please explain it in a slightly different way because I'm not understanding what you're talking about? No, I gave you the example. If you can't follow the example, you're too stupid. I'm like, statistically speaking, my foot is a size 10.5 wide. And the human backside can only fit something about 2 inches by 2 inches. So what ratio of my foot to your asshole do you think is going to incorporate itself together till I make my ankle a Venn diagram with you? Like, I had some attitude. I had some fucking attitude. I know. But like, the next teacher that I had literally just changed the explanation a little bit. I think we were working on ratios. And I'm like, I sort of get ratios, but I'm sort of not getting it. I'm like it makes sense in this in gambling, but I'm like, I don't understand it. And they're like, ratios are just fractions. And I'm like, I'm sorry, back that whole way, what? They're like, ratios are just fractions. That semicolon, the two dot mark, that colon right there, that's the same thing as that slash mark for a ratio. So if your chance is 1 out of 2, it's the same as 1/2, aka 50%. And I'm like, oh, I get it. Basically, a ratio is just talking about the overall likelihood, the overall percentage likelihood of a thing happening. And I'm like, and like, you can also gently tilt that to like a ratio of like, if they say your ratio is 1 to 1 to 1, when they're talking about measurements, like for like baking, cooking, that kind of thing, when you need a 1 to 1 to 1 ratio, it means you're using the exact same amount of, or you're using amounts that are multiplied by. So like if you're doing a 1 to 2 to 3 ratio of water to sugar to butter, 1 cup of water, 2 cups of sugar, 3 cups of butter. This is 2 times of this is 3 times of this. So yeah, it's just little things being changed. I'm like, oh. And they're like, they're basically, you're just writing it in shorthand. It's mathematical shorthand. I'm like, that makes more sense. That makes more sense now. So, thank you. I appreciate it. It's one of my favorite like lounging dresses. Just having it around, sitting in it, all the good stuff. Thank you. I'm doing my best. I'm doing my best. So tomorrow I will have new stuff up on my Mayhem Marketplace. I will, if I start making advertisements for some of the stuff that I have going on, it's because I'm doing my best to be out there and make myself available to the masses, as it were. But yeah. How's everybody doing so far tonight? 4 to 7 is going to be my new regular for here. Because I will be doing more live time on verified sites and whatnot. So yes, find me all the different places. Ask all the questions, especially the more spicy questions you have over there. Because yes, we could absolutely have those conversations over there. But also recognize that I will be in a slightly different headspace on those places, because I will be in more full persona and I will be of a very particular variety. And I will have very little judgment about the different topics that you might bring up in those other places. I will always let people know what my hard limits are over there. Can't usually talk about them over here. But yeah, like, my word is definitely law over there, especially. I have no idea, because your child may come out female, but they may have XY chromosomes. They may come out intersex. They may decide that their gender plays no role in who they are, or all the role in who they are. So, you're talking to somebody who is raised a girl and raised as a woman and has summarily rejected said title and decided gender fluidity is much nicer, much better, so I waffle between neutral and femme, but never a woman. Never, or almost never a woman. Ugh. God. Damn, even when I'm feeling super femme, I still don't like that word. What can I say? Also, don't put gender on your kids. Don't go in with, I have these expectations, and if you don't fulfill those expectations, I will think less of you. Kids pick up on that. Kids pick up on that so fast when they don't fit what your expectation is. Let them be kids. Just let them be kids. My goodness. Don't put that expectation on them. Hello, hello. Welcome, my darlings. How do you do? We are doing tarot. We are doing banter and talking and whatnot. What is everybody up to? Oh yeah, getting the shiny going on. Questions, topics, banter. Let's go. I'm loving how rapid fire this has been this evening. What's on everybody's mind? Oh, also ex-evangelical Christian, so if there are those out there waiting to pounce on that, don't proselytize to me. It's never a good idea. It tends to be very embarrassing for Christians to, and it's not all Christians, it's just very particular variety. They know who they are. It's very embarrassing for them to come in and try and proselytize at me because I know the book better than they do, and it's gonna be not a good time for them. Yay! Don't you just love getting in touch with your cards? Oh, I didn't know that hasn't Grey's Anatomy been going forever? I did not know that they had a spin-off. Huh. It's kind of like Law and Order. Law and Order has how many spin-offs at this point? And they've been going for well over 2 decades? I mean, it's some of the most prolific propaganda that has ever been made, but also you can't blame me. Have you seen Stabler's Cakes? Like, I am no better than a man at certain things. Oh, okay. Okay. Right. Law and Order SVU is such perfect background noise kind of thing. Yeah, absolutely. I have not watched 2521. Although I like a good K-drama, I can never tell you what most of them are because they almost become like background to me, and a lot of them seem to follow very much a very similar theme. I keep finding the ones that are like, yes, this girl is being excluded from this, from this male-dominated field or environment, so they dress up as a boy and go into this male-dominated field, and then fall in love with this guy who thinks that he's falling in love with another guy, so is confused, and then they slowly just become okay with having feelings for each other until the big reveal. I'm just like, I'm just saying. But is that a good K-drama? Let me know. Don't mind me as I start putting on my face. Hey! How goes? How you doing, Arena? Okay. Gentle blushy without being too much. Hello. Come on in, darlings. Let me start putting on a little bit of face. Kat Von D. I bought this after she was no longer a part of the makeup company. Okay, let's let that soak in for a touch. This is the Lip Stain Witches. I actually really like this. It goes on very nicely. It holds really, really well. I am going to add a little bit of lipstick over it, but I figure put on a base coat, let it really, really soak in so I get a little bit more density to it all. I could have sworn that I blocked Jeffree Star on this app, and today his ugly ass face came up on my feed, and I was... Because I'm like, I am very, very intentional about certain people that I block, and he is almost always a person that I will search out to block because he's so fucking heinous. And I'm like, I know that I blocked your ass, so why the fuck are you coming up on my feed? And the amount of people that he has following him that apparently have no fucking idea or are perfectly okay with him as a person it's confusing. It's so wild to me. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? He tried to start a brand called Lip Yahtzee using Iron Eagle iconography. And he has been repeatedly, loudly, hard ER, anti-black. He has been weirdly transphobic, especially looking like he looks. And he has just been so nasty and untoward, and I'm kind of amazed that he has all of his own teeth, because the way he has mouthed off to certain people, I'm just saying. But I swear to God, if this app is like... Oh, Jeffree Star. The anorexic alien that he is. I despise him on so many levels. And I could have sworn that I had him blocked on this app. But he came across my feed today, and I'm like, what the fuck, TikTok? What the fuck? Oh no, he's a horrible, horrible human being. Horrible human being. And the fact that he's out here trying to hawk like a $40 lip oil, I'm sorry, but his product is not that good. His product is really not that good. So, again, how he has as much as a following as he does is still, like, beyond me. I'm almost out of this. Yo. Did you use ChatGPT for your paper? If you use ChatGPT for your paper, you need to go back and you need to rewrite it right now. You don't know if all the information that's put in there is actually real information, or if it is just information that got plucked out of thin air. So you could be handing over something that has a lot of misinformation to it. Next, if that gets run through software that a lot of colleges are using now, yeah, you could absolutely come up with something that is flagged as plagiarized. Beyond that, a paper, especially a academic paper, is made to show that you understand the topic that you are talking about, so that you are showing that you have learned the knowledge that has been imparted to you. And if you aren't learning what is actually being imparted to you, especially in certain fields, you could become a danger not only to other people, but to yourself. So, not to mention, you don't know who that AI plagiarized from, because that's all it's doing is it's scraping a bunch of work and going from there. The whole reason you go to school is to learn how to critically think and make assessments and impart information. If you're having AI do it for you, you're doing yourself a disservice, and it will show. It will show real quick. Also, AI uses a metric shit ton of energy, water, and other resources, and is incredibly harmful for the environment. So it's a multi-layer, not helpful to you. If you're gonna be going to higher education and you are gonna be learning, like, make sure you are putting in the work and earning that degree. Even if you're earning that degree at a C level versus an A level, earn that degree, because that means you actually understand the things that you are learning about and the degree that you're getting. And honestly, there's a lot of really damn good C students out there that have passion for what they are doing and will always try to learn more and put in a way more effort than the kid who got through with an A that either did it through AI means or through mommy and daddy's money. I will take somebody who is constantly learning, constantly analyzing, constantly getting better over the person who just paid for it and thinks that they are entitled to get through because, mommy and daddy paid for it. Yeah, but did you actually learn anything? Do you critically think about anything? Or is somebody else doing the work for you? Like, I can straight up say that my mother pretty much earned every degree in my family except for my degrees. I earned my degrees of my own hard work, blood, sweat, and a whole lot of tears. My mother, on the other hand, did the work for my father and for my brother and helped them get degrees. And I watched her put in so much effort to get their degrees while also getting a degree for herself. And they don't know shit. She, on the other hand, knew a lot of shit. So, and that's okay though. That's okay that you're having trouble in pathology. That means you keep working at it. And maybe you learn some different ways to go about thinking about certain parts of pathology. Between flashcards, between just finding fun animations that give you a visual, because sometimes people are just way more visual when it comes to certain concepts. And once they see it visually, like, put down in a way that they're like, oh, I get it. This goes to this, like cross-contamination. How does that work? Oh, okay, that makes more sense. Because you can say, oh yeah, in cross-contamination, you have to worry about the biological residue transferring from your fingertips to a countertop. Da-da-da-da. And then some people, they need a visual representation of it. So, like, I did that with glitter, because I was really tired during the panini of places, restaurants, not allowing delivery drivers to use the restroom when we needed to use the restroom. So I started by doing a visual representation for people who couldn't quite understand why delivery drivers were so mad that we couldn't use a restroom. Oh, well, they're just trying to keep themselves safe, and, they're just, they've got so much to clean already. And I'm like, let me give you a visual representation of every single handle I have to touch. So So I put out several things that were handles, and several things that were doors, and several things that were countertops, and I put different types of glitter on them. And I touched the first set, and I put them down. And I dusted my hand off, and I used like a little bit of hand sanitizer to try and clean off as much as I possibly could. Then I touched the next thing, and I put them down. And you could see the different types of glitter that were now on my hand, and the different types of things that were on the handles and on the countertops. And by the end of it, I had about 10 different types of glitter on my hands in varying degrees. And in between, I'm doing hand sanitizer, but the hand sanitizer only does so much. And for the most part, it just kind of moved it around. So by the end of it, each countertop, each handle that I did, each thing that I touched had more and more and more different types of glitter on it. And I'm like, so not only do I have strep, fecal coliform, E. coli, COVID, SARS, norovirus, influenza type A, type B, tuberculosis, measles. I just, naming off a bunch of communicable diseases and whatnot. Not only do I have all of this, they are now all over every single handle. And if you've got hundreds of people going in and out, touching countertops, touching handles, and then I'm your delivery driver as a DoorDash driver, you're getting hundreds, maybe thousands of samples on my hand, and that hand sanitizer only does so much. Now, on the other hand, let's do this experiment again, but do it as if I actually get to wash my hands, soap and water, in between every delivery. What do you think the results were? Wildly different, because the saponification, or the encasement of the soap around the glitter, meant that the glitter was more thoroughly coming off my hands. And it went from a nearly covered surface to a surface that had like 10% of that glitter still on it. And each time I was able to make it a little bit safer, because I actually was able to like fully wash my hands and get clean in between each thing that I touched. Meaning whoever I'm delivering to had less chance of getting ill. Each person I interacted with had less chance of getting ill, because I was actually able to have my hands clean rather than just gently sanitized and wiped down, which didn't do nearly as much. Oh, no, I understand. I definitely understand the pacing. The pacing is a little insane. Like, I really wish that they would do at least semesters instead of quarters for a lot of medical school, because that some of that stuff is just way too fast paced. Like, you have to be able to absorb the information that is being given to you. But yeah, like, you gotta do the work. You gotta do the works, babes. I know it's a lot. I know it's a whole hell of a lot. But you gotta do the work. If you don't do the work yourself, if AI is doing the work for you, what about when it comes down to those multiple choice tests, or the tests where you got to actually put down, the pieces, the parts, the risks, all of that. If the AI has been doing most of the work for you, how much knowledge retention do you think you're going to have for the real thing when it comes down? How much critical thinking have you done about how certain things and systems are going to interact? Like, it's a bit about the knowledge retention, but it's also how you critically think about a situation or about a scenario. So I know it's fast-paced. I know it is difficult as fuck. I really understand. Oh my god, thank you so much. Hey. Hi. How's everybody doing? Thank you so much for that. That was, spectacular. It lights up my ADHD brain. But yeah, like, I know it's a lot. It's not gonna be easy. It's It's not going to be easy. I understand. But you will definitely be a better care provider for it when you put in that effort, and it will also help the way you critically think about something. If you put in that extra work to show up, to learn it, to become incredibly familiar with it, and to think about it in different ways and fashions. And I mean, if nothing else, you can always put me on in the background while you study, so I appreciate you for that. I'm honestly proud of you for that. Thank you. I am perfectly okay with that. And I am perfectly okay with that. I am very okay with you doing it because you want to and not just because I said that you should. In fact, I prefer that. I prefer that you're doing it because you want to and not just because, oh, well, because Sanguine said so. No. Your own free will, I am happy that you are making that decision for yourself. And in the long run, I think you will be so much prouder of yourself because you'll look back at it and go, fuck, that was difficult, but damn it, I did it. So, I appreciate that. I love that for you. Yay. Hello, everybody. Come on in. We got about another half hour. I'm working on the makeup right now. So I'm going to be other places, other spaces. There we go. I'm proud of you. And I mean it. I am proud of you. Academics is one of the hardest things to go into. And it's one of the hardest things to do. To say the least, it is one of the hardest things you can do. So yeah, a lot of times you have to make the decisions for yourself as to how you are going to approach those academics. And again, I will be so much prouder of and more trusting of a person who maybe didn't get straight A's, but will critically think about something and do a lot more research and do a lot more listening, especially as a patient. Will do a lot more listening to the patient rather than the person who went, I got A's. I was like the top 1% of my class. I know better than you. Because I've had doctors who had that attitude of, well, I'm a doctor and I got, my grades were up here. I know what I'm talking about. And it turns out, no, they didn't. No, they didn't. They knew all the fancy words for shit, but they didn't have the actual critical thinking skills. And it took me talking to other doctors and other specialists and going, I tried talking to my regular doctor and like they won't hear anything I have to say about how I feel or what's going on with my body or certain things that affect me. Like, what are your thoughts? Because I know this isn't right. And they're like, oh, yeah, because they're a GP. They let's give you a slightly different perspective and let me listen to what you got to say for a while, and then we'll figure out, okay, symptom A is probably causing, reaction B, and da-da-da-da. Let's get some more information in here. Okay, yeah, you're right, there is something else going on. Let's do some other testing and either eliminate or add what this might be until we find something that fits and can be either fixed or handled in a different way that makes you more comfortable and makes you more functional. Yes, exactly, exactly. Oh my God, 1,000% that. See, I knew you have it in you. I fucking knew you have it in you. I'm so happy for you. I'm so happy for you. Yes, 1,000% that. Every patient is going to be a little bit different. And I've been fat my entire life. Literally heavy set my entire life. And like for a good 15 years, doctors were always like, you got to stop sneaking chips and fries and fried foods and candy and da da da. I'm like, my favorite thing to eat growing up, especially as a kid, was fruit. Okay, I was a fucking fruit bat. Okay, you gave me apples, oranges, bananas, raisins. Like, I loved fruit. But I gained weight every 6 inches in height, and I gained height really quick. I would suddenly gain about 6 inches in width ever so shortly after. And the doctors were always accusing me of like sneaking junk food, basically. And I'm like, I don't have access to junk food. My parents pack my lunch. If I do get to buy school lunch, it's a limited thing on what you can buy and what you can get. I don't get an allowance that just allows me to go out and buy a bunch of junk food. Like, I eat what is at home. And that's about it. And I'm still gaining weight and sleeping like 12 hours a day in between, doing 2 to 3 different sports year round and all this other stuff. And they're like, yeah, you need to get out more. And I'm like, I'm going to martial arts 4 nights out of the week. I'm doing basketball 2 to 3 nights out of the week, and then a game on the weekends. Like, I'm doing gymnastics, swimming, basketball, martial arts year round, weightlifting, and it took a Nigerian doctor seeing the darkness on my elbows, which are fucking ashy. Jesus Christ, right there. Where's my lotion? Took a Nigerian doctor seeing that, and then I don't have it right now, but I also had this like dark line kind of at my neck and on my knees. And he's like, oh, have you ever been tested for like Cushing's or Hashimoto's, like a thyroid issue kind of thing? I was like, nope. Doctors just keep telling me to eat less. And he's like, have any of them done any like tests? And I'm like, other than your standardized blood test that has slightly higher triglycerides and slightly high good cholesterol? Yeah, no, they haven't done anything past that. And he's like, oh my fucking God. So he ordered a panel to test my thyroid, as well as automatically putting me on a thyroid medication. And turns out, yeah, I had a Hashimoto's with hypothyroidism as my precursor. And he's like, yeah, you've got Hashimoto's. You've got a non-functional thyroid gland. Like, I can't believe none of them tested you for that. I'm like, eh? He's like, oh my God, fuck's sake. So yeah, like, I never lost the weight because I also had polycystic ovarian syndrome to go with that. But my gain became a little bit more stabilized. I was able to build muscle a little bit easier, and I was far less tired. In fact, almost insomniac levels of not tired, but far less tired, far more functional on thyroid. All because one doctor actually decided to listen to me versus just speaking over me. So yeah, like, listening is a beautiful talent, and not every doctor or nurse or healthcare provider has that. So I appreciate when there are healthcare providers out there who do have that skill. It makes a huge difference, especially to a lot of patients who are used to not being listened to at all. Exactly. You have to listen to the people. It's not just the meds and a quick answer. It's a holistic approach. Yeah, it's everything. You gotta listen to all the things that are going on. Thank you so much. much. I appreciate that so much, Faye. Or I'm sorry, Faye. Thank you. I appreciate that. Wait. I'm the first girl. I am so honored. Oh my god, thank you. I am the first gift that you've ever sent. Oh, thank you so much. Like, I super appreciate that. I super duper appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. And you also just fulfilled my goal. Oh my god. Thank you. In fact, everybody, can we say hello and thank you to Faye? Like, I so appreciate that. I really so appreciate that. Oh my god. Okay. What are the other things that I need? Oh, corgis. Yeah. So welcome. These are the penguins, aka Sanguine's penguins. How do you do? Welcome. The vibe is, for the most part, come in, chill, decompress. We have a lot of different banter and talk. There's a lot of stuff that goes on in here, so by all means, if you got questions, feel free to ask. There's a lot of stuff we do in here, a lot that we go through, and we talk about everything and nothing, do tarot cards, banter, and all of whatnot. So I really appreciate that. Yay! Are you the spoon, or are you just the spooninator? Spoons at the ready! Sorry, dorktastically, I know. Ooh, and we're only about 500 off of another community tarot card pull, so feel free to come on in. Get the tappy tappies. And as soon as we hit 20K, we will do another community pull, so I'm just going to go ahead and start shuffling now. Yeah, and honestly, half the time, I actually like the nurses a lot more than the doctors, because the nurses are the first people you interact with, and the right nurse advocating for you can actually get so much more done. Because a lot of times, if you start rattling off a bunch of stuff, the doctors are like, oh, you probably looked that up on Google. You're med MPG or whatever. Like, yeah. But if a nurse points that same thing out to them, they are far more likely to listen to that nurse and therefore listen to what I have been trying to say. So yeah. Oh yeah. Well, because nurses are, and I mean, no shade to doctors. Honestly, no shade to doctors. But nurses are in those trenches first. They are the first ones to be reading the charts, to be listening to the history. They spend sometimes more time with the patient than the doctor does. So they get more pieces of information, more pieces to the puzzle. And yeah, they become almost the front-running advocate in a lot of regards for the patient. So honestly, I appreciate nurses something fierce. I think, honestly, even when I've gone to the ER, nurses have spent more time with me than the doctors have. And I appreciate the living shit out of the nurses. Yep. Especially when it comes to, like, women of color, and I'm not just talking black women, but, like, indigenous, Latin, like, women of color quite often are spoken over and not believed on the same level, and it can be galling. Ooh, it's the Knight of Twos. So we also now have the Two of Swords. Kidney stones. Those are fun. Massage. One of those deep massage guns. or a good roller coaster. Apparently one of the best ways to knock those things loose. But yeah, the fact that you're getting ibuprofen for a kidney stone. Jeez. No. Right, that part. So, the Two of Swords. A little bit of a balancing act. A little bit of deciding which way to go. Deciding what belongs and what needs to be cut away. Of course, as you're proceeding forward, you have to be careful not to accidentally cut the line that is directly in front of you. There are going to be some kind of hard choices that need to be made coming up, and you have to choose your words carefully as to be diplomatic, but you don't need to be as so polite as to allow people to continue to walk past your boundaries and over what you said. So say what you gotta say, just be mildly diplomatic about it as you go on. Hi, Nugs! How are you, darling? Oh, I hope you're doing well. Eee! Hi. Yes, that part. Eee. Six Flags, or yeah, that kind of go to Six Flags. But yeah, no, the deep tissue massage guns apparently, or even just something that has a good but kind of rough, like powerful rough vibration to it, will help to dislodge the smaller stones. They're still not pleasant, of course, but yeah, those help. Those are hey. Nugs is one of my favorite creators on here. They are Canadian. They are an advocate for SWs as well as being one. They are absolutely fantastic, and I enjoy their candid honesty as well as the education that they truly provide. I am still very much a rookie. I went back and looked at like when I joined a lot of places and started my journey, and I actually have not even been in for a year, and I'm still doing so much research. I'm trying to get better at doing all those things and get myself there, because funny enough, this is a profession that I want to do for a good long while. My style so far is different than other people's styles. I'm not an in-person full-service type. I am a digital, online, power dynamic type. But I am ever expanding as I am becoming more comfortable with myself and how I present and my own comfort levels. As I'm basically unpacking a lot of my trauma. I'm like, oh, you know what? Let's do this noise. So yeah. Pocket nuggets. We like it. We love it. Thank you so much. Right. I love having such a diversified community on so many levels, and yeah, it makes me kind of smile. I'm really hoping that I can get in there and build those audiences in those other places, because I want to do more in those particular communities, but also I want to develop my skills even more so, and become the advocate that I really do want to. I know it is the roughest life that I've just chosen in certain regards, but I want to be as much of an advocate as those people that I admire. And so far, I'm like, I can get in there, I can debate. I've got a lot of good things that I've learned from a lot of the SWs that are out there that I now follow. But I want to become ever better and more prominent and advocate harder, and also hopefully inspire civilians to also advocate for SWs, decriminalization, decarceration, rights, not rescue. I want to be able to help civilians understand the industry, the clientele, and the struggles that we face through stigmatization, through criminalization, through incarceration, because all of those things actually deeply hinder people from being able to detransition from this work if they want to, but it also puts people who are being trafficked in a lot more danger when there is stigma and criminalization around the work, because people do not understand the difference between traffic versus in the profession out of their own free will, or even survival. So yeah, there's so much. I could talk for ages about those particular subjects. It was always one of my hyper focuses as I was getting my psych degree, but it is even more so now that I am in the industry, that I need to become educated on all the things, and then also help educate other people, because shame, stigma, those things are detrimental on many, many different levels, and I would much more like to aim towards a more functional society that does not criminalize and does not shame, and therefore makes it easier for people to choose whether they want to be in or they don't want to be in an industry. And yeah, again, I could go on and on and on about that, but how's everybody doing? We got about 10 minutes left. I'll be back on tomorrow, again from about 4 to 7 Pacific Standard Time. I will be doing probably nightly lives on verified sites. If you know how to find me, you know how to find me. I will try and leave gentle breadcrumbs so you can figure that out. And yeah, approach me in the appropriate places, in the appropriate ways, and we can definitely have other conversations, to say the least. But yeah. And if you haven't already, and you are of a nature that likes ASMR and a spicier version of In a Battery, go find my alternate page. Please be 21 plus. Just, it's my own preference, it's my own comfort, as it were. Oh, yeah. Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? Come on in, get comfortable for the next, 10 minutes or so. And if anybody ever needs a card reads, tarot card reading is definitely available. It is In a Bathory, INNABATHORY. And I do reserve the right that if I happen to check your page as more people are coming in, I will be checking profiles and whatnot. If your profile is like a faceless, nameless, no content, there's a good chance that you will get booted. I don't like minors and bots on my page, so if it looks like you're a person who is maybe not of age, I will boot you, and that is for my preference, but also for your safety, because certain people don't belong in certain places, and I don't need you to be a target for untoward adults if you are a minor. So literally, if I don't feel safe with your profile, then I will do what I need to do. It is no slight against you. It is simply for comfort and safety. By all means, feel free to continue to ask questions. I will give you as plain and honest an answer as humanly possible. Oh, that's right. I have not done my eyes yet. Trying to decide. I think I'll put on lashes later, but... Yes, I am going to be doing Inna content over there. So if you suddenly see a drop off in Inna Bathory content, it's because I have moved it over to that page where it is going to be more prominent, much more featured, because that is the persona that I've been building. I love being over here, but being over here with the Inna Bathory means that I keep it kind of nice, kind of cute, kind of, eccentric auntie. Over there, it is leaning into the, hello, darling. Oh, how good of you to know your place already. Tickle me pink. Better yet, tickle me green, gold, and pools of white. So it's going to be the more vampire. It's going to be the more succubus. It's going to be more power dominant femme, whereas here it's like, you get a bit of sanguine thrown in with everything, so it's a little bit more cheery, a little bit more goofy, I guess, over here. Well, I'm going to be over on a verified site tonight, right. So yeah, I'm going to be on a verified site tonight, and I think my time slot is going to be roughly from 8 to 10 most nights during the week, and then I will also have private sessions and whatnot open, and people can book me for any number of reasons, private session-wise, especially like if you need somebody to talk to, you need somebody to just like hold space with and be social with. Yeah, I am open to that as well. I just need people to contact me about that in the appropriate spaces, in the appropriate places. Hello, how are you doing, Lauren? I mean, I'm trying. Nope, I am still, right now I'm still trying to pay rent, and then after that, other things. But also that the door dashing just straight up was not working out. Sitting around for hours and getting literally no offers, even while being next to hotspots, because I'm not a what do you call it, a silver or a bronze or a gold or whatever. Basically, it's DoorDash's way of exploiting their newer workers and forcing them to take terrible pay. And yeah, like my car is not fit for that. So I am trying my best to firstly get my rent paid, which I owe another $700 for this month. And then also then get my battery replaced, which is going to be about another, I think about $300 to get the correct battery. I have a friend who's actually going to help me get that installed, and I love my Virgo for that because he is very smart and rather savvy at doing those kind of things, so yay. But yeah, as it is, I'm just tap dancing and trying my best to get traction to where traction needs to be and whatnot. So if anybody wishes to do direct support, help, or order content and whatnot, follow the links in Lio. I'm very open to doing the work. So yeah. Doing my best right now while the world is currently on fire. Oh, because for whatever reason the algo gets pissy if you say it correctly. It gets weird about that and will like deeply suppress you at times. And like I'm not the only person it happens to. It happens to a lot of people. So a lot of creators will be creative with how they say, go here to look at the other things. It's just what we have to do in order to not get like shadow realmed. Which I know we all find just kind of hilariously derp. Because apparently platforms don't understand that it makes more sense to let us send places to the where we've got stuff going rather than having to always go through them to get anything done. Right? I'm just like it's asinine. It is definitely asinine. Because, yeah, I'd like to be able to just speak plainly, but for a lot of reasons, I cannot always speak plainly on this platform. And it is now 7 o'clock. I'm going to head off and get my makeup polished up a touch. And then I will be over on a verified site. If you are a loyal fan, you will know where to go. Feel free to join me over there if that is your happiness, by all means. We have some very frank discussions over there, and you can also get a lot of specialized custom content. So this is where media literacy comes in. I am saying a very particular thing. You just have to know which words to pick up on. So, how do I put it? It's not a place that's blue and white. You'll see a lot more black and red. And the throne is a good place to go to get the keys to the kingdom because it will show you where the loyal fans like to go. Again, I'm sorry I have to speak in code, quite unfortunately. I would love to be blatant per se. But yeah, can't.
Yay. Okay, I'm off and running. I'll be back tomorrow. Make sure you find me around the web. I'm over on Twitch, Insta, a lot of other places as well. I'm trying to get some of my links cleaned up and polished, just to make it a little bit easier to find me. But yeah, I will see you around. See you later, y'all. Bye!